Hey everyone, this is Anirban here. I am here again with another episode of the email show. Today I have Rachel Caborn. She is from Leicester, UK, and she has been doing email marketing for the last 4 years, and she has been under the umbrella of digital marketing for the last 8 years. Today we will learn about email marketing and how she works in newsletter, email sequence, email flow, and overall everything about email marketing. So welcome to this podcast, Rachel.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to have this chat today.
Awesome. So how did you get started in email marketing?
Yeah, that's a long story, but I'll try and keep it short. So, yeah, like you said, I've been in digital marketing for, wow, yeah, 8 years is really long. I forget how long it's been. But I wanted to start freelancing. So I kind of, on the side of my digital marketing, like corporate job, I started freelancing and I didn't really know what I wanted to do. So I kind of just picked up some different stuff like blog posts, social media management, some stuff that I'd done in like previous jobs. And then I started working with marketing agencies, and that is when I really got into email marketing. Like they asked me to write different emails and campaigns and things, and it really snowballed from there. Like I've worked with a few different agencies and written tons of emails, and also done like sales funnels as well. So a whole bunch of stuff from there.
Mhm. So, Rachel, you have been working in digital marketing space for the last 8 years, where you have worked in CMN, Showx, Prospect Path, as well as one of the leading uh, pizza company, Domino's. So, how was your experience before becoming an email marketer?
Yeah, so I did a couple of years. I was working on like a retailer, like a UK retailer. So that was on a website. So I got a lot of, insight into using, I guess, systems because we were using a lot of website systems. I was working closely with like developers to like, put new things on the website and stuff. So I think that really gave me a good stead into like using email systems today. And then, yeah, when I was working at Domino's, that was a fun experience. I was doing like SMS. So I would be sending out SMS for like the office and things. And also, again, more on the website side. So, yeah, it's been really interesting to work with big companies like in house like that, but also be on the other side in agency world. So, yeah, it's good to have like a good balance of things. And I've worked with a lot of different brand as well, like from those retailers all the way to like e-commerce brands, like and also like personal brands like coaches and things. So I feel like I've dipped into a lot of different areas within it as well.
Mhm. So, as you have been working for the last 4 years and you are helping coaches, consultants, or be in the B2B market as well. So, can you please talk about your best campaign so far?
My best campaign so far. Oh, that's a tricky question. I feel like all of them have been really unique and interesting. Um, I'm trying to think if there's one that stood out in particular. Maybe. hmm, I don't know if there's one that stuck out in particular, to be honest. Like, I look back over all of them, and still, I guess, some of the brands that I've worked with, it's been really interesting to just see, like, some of the results they get on just one email, like, to see all of the results from that. That's really interesting. But then also at the same time, it's been incredible to work with much smaller businesses and to help them get started with email marketing. So, yeah, I don't know if there's one in particular, but just getting to see the results from each end of the spectrum, like new beginners into the world, and also bigger brands that are like using it to make thousands and thousands. So it's really interesting to see that spectrum.
What is the number one metric for you when you do email marketing for your clients?
I guess the two main ones we're really looking at are opens and clicks. I guess opens is a tricky one, right? Because a lot of people will say, don't trust it because, Apple Mail already mark it as open and you can't really trust it. And also, it kind of fluctuates. But I do think it is a really good benchmark, like not necessarily the number itself, but to see, where it's increasing or declining is giving you a real insight into what people want to see. So I do think it's really important to look at that. And then obviously click rate is really important again because it shows who's engaging with the emails. Again, another one to take with a pinch of salt, I think, because it depends what your links are. Obviously, if you're like an e-commerce store or if you can track quite easily like sales, that's obviously a big one to track. But I guess for some clients that I work with where they can't quite track that the same, we'd probably be looking at like maybe inquiries or call bookings as well as like an equivalent to that, I would say. But those are the three kind of main ones. I think one that I definitely don't look at so much are unsubscribes. I don't think that's one that you need to worry about as much, in my opinion.
Mhm. So, what is one tactic that always works for you in email marketing?
I think this is a really good question, but a hard one to answer because a lot of people have different like different brands will kind of lean on different things, I've found. But one thing that always works is definitely urgency. You know, whenever there's a sale on, or whenever you've got a promotion, or whenever you're trying to launch something, urgency is always the thing at the end that it is going to get people over the edge. But I do want to preface this with by saying that a lot of the clients that I work with, they really don't want to lean into that pressure, that being too salesy, being too pushy. So I think you can definitely have urgency and like use urgency tactics, but in a way that doesn't feel pushy, you know, that in a way that still helps people decide in a way that feels really good. So I think that's something to be mindful when you do use that tactic, that you don't just, yeah, make people feel pushed into it. And obviously it goes without saying, you know, you don't want to use like false sense of urgency or anything like that. You want to make sure that, you know, at the end of the day, you're just helping people decide and make the decision, and urgency is a way to help them do that.
Mm-hmm. So as you are walking around newsletter, normal B2B messaging and all, so what are the tools do you use for your clients, and what are the tools you use for yourself?
I guess so. When you were saying tools, I guess like obviously the email service provider is the main thing that you need. So like when I'm working with personal brands like coaches and service providers, the two that I kind of lean towards are Flowdesk and Kit. I think both of them really offer those type of businesses like everything they need. Like you have all the automations and the landing pages and the tags, everything's in there, and they look really nice as well. Like you can definitely customize them to be aligned with your brand. And then I guess when we're thinking about more like e-commerce type brands, the go-to always like bigger e-commerce brands, especially more so Klaviyo, but again, only if you're a bit bigger. I think you could probably still use Kit if you're a small business owner. So those are the main platforms. The other tool that I really do like using, which is a bit different, it's, I don't know if it's really a tool, but it's a website. It's called Milled, and they have all of, I guess you probably know already, but they have all the like email campaigns on there from different brands, so you can go in and like get a lot of inspiration. So that's really good if you're like you wanted to see what your competitors doing, or just want to get inspiration for what people are doing out there.
So mostly you take inspiration from the platforms like millet.com and this kind of platform, or do you have any other inspiration source as well?
Um, I guess my own inbox, like I will subscribe to a lot of different brands, and that helps me get inspiration as well. And also you can get inspiration from, I guess, a lot of different places, like, you know, creative wise, whenever you're looking, you know, around in different places. Like you would if like with any marketing, like sometimes ideas can come from the strangest places. But yeah, if I'm specifically like, okay, I need some inspiration for emails, I guess like my inbox and Milled would be the two places that I would go.
Mhm. So I have been seeing that people are using AI heavily, and there are so many places like when you need to understand your audience, when you need to understand the psychographic data and all, people are heavily depending on AI. So that's why I often say that people are targeting the wrong segment, or people are using wrong email copy. So what do you think of this? Like, do you think we are using AI in the wrong way when it comes to email copywriting or email marketing as a whole, or do you think that there is a scope of improvement?
Yeah, I guess it depends like how you're using it, because there's so many different AI tools and resources. Like I do definitely think they can have a place and they can help. You know, especially if like, you know, you're a small business owner and you can't afford to, you know, invest or outsource, like you can use it yourself to get like extra help. But I do think there needs to be some level of awareness first. Like you say, like if you're targeting the wrong demographics, like you can't fully, I don't think you can fully lean into AI and trust it fully at this stage. Like you still need to kind of do your own research and like look at different sources, because I don't think it's at the stage where we can fully trust it yet. I think, yeah. So I think it can be useful, but obviously, yeah, just be aware of it and like know that I don't think it's the be all and end all with truth. I think you need to still look at various different sources and do your own research before you can rely on those kind of tools.
So when it comes to AI, you only use it for the email copywriting purpose, or do you also use it for the audience research and overall understanding the audience overall?
Um, I think a lot of the brands that I work with, they kind of they've already done a lot of the, you know, target customer research within their business as part of that. So I would probably build on it. I might use AI to kind of find sources and help me with the research, but I wouldn't say it's like main use. I don't think I would rely on it too much in that sense.
So Rachel, I have checked your LinkedIn and I saw that you have mentioned. I mean, the last post I could trace it was 7 years back. And I could trace another post which was Showx. I guess you have finished the internship of Showx and you have posted, and it was 5 years back. And then I noticed that for the last 12 months you are so active on LinkedIn. What led you into LinkedIn? Like, why did you get started on LinkedIn?
That's a good question. That's funny that you looked at like the old post. Yeah, so I guess in the last year, like at the start of 2024, I'd kind of gone full time into my business, like doing all of that. So, and about halfway into the year, I knew I needed to start using social to promote my business more. So that's kind of why I started on LinkedIn. I'm also on Instagram as well. I kind of tend to use both. And so, yeah, I've just kind of been in the last year building on it really and just building my personal brand and, yeah, sharing more on there, I guess.
Mhm. So currently you are so active on LinkedIn, you are sharing the knowledge you have. So do you often get inbound leads or do you also outreach for that?
I don't outreach anymore. I tried to do cold outreach a little bit, but it just I didn't really like it that much. And I feel like a lot of the people that I work with also relate to this because they, again, like not that it feels pushy, but I think it can sometimes when you approach someone who didn't want to be approached, sometimes it's not the best way to enter that relationship. And I think a lot of clients kind of resonate with that. So I think that's also why I've been a lot like very active on these platforms because I would rather put myself out there and let people find me. I know that that's not the best approach for everyone, and obviously maybe it can limit your leads as well. Like it depends the kind of business that you have. But yeah, recently I found that people come to me because of the content that I'm putting out there and they resonate with that, and it just works better. I've also found that I attract more of the right clients that way as well. Like when I was reaching out to people, they weren't really always in the stage to invest in support, or yeah, it just wasn't necessarily the right person. So now I found that this kind of works a bit better for me.
So do you work in three spaces like info, SaaS, and e-commerce, or do you only focus on info and SaaS?
So yeah, I do a lot of like I guess I'll run through my clients at the moment, like coaches and service providers. So those are like a big part, personal brands. And then yeah, I do have a lot of e-commerce product based stuff as well. So it's kind of both of those ends.
Mhm. So I saw that you have worked with a lot of coaches and really very big names in this market. So do you think that as they're big or as they understand the business better, you love to work with them, or it's your preference to work with the coaches and consultants or the service-based business owners?
Wait, what do you mean? Sorry.
Okay, so I mean, like when you are working with some people who are already into this business for years or already doing some sort of service-based businesses, so they know more about what you are capable of doing or what are the things you can add to their business. But when it comes to the e-commerce or any other aspect of email marketing, the matter is different. Like e-commerce is totally different thing. I mean, when it comes to info and e-commerce, that's a totally different game. So, is it your own preference to work with these service-based business owners and coaches consultants, or have you also thought of working in e-commerce?
Yeah, so I guess, yeah, and you're right, like it is two very different things. So when I work with coaches and service providers, they will typically be the only person that does the email marketing for them because, those type of emails, they don't require like design. It's very much more like they might have a little bit of design, but you don't need a designer for them. Do you know what I mean? Like, so it's one person and I like to do that and I can step in and help them. It can be if they're completely new to email, I can help. That's definitely a type of person that I help. Or if they've had their email list going for a while, but they want to outsource, that's another point that I would jump in. In terms of them being established already, yes, like they would need to already have a business that's going. Like you need to have built up an email list. Like the people that I've worked with, they have been, they have a successful business and they want to use email as an extra channel and stream to their revenue. And I guess to flip that, when I look at e-commerce brands, that's the ones that I work with at the moment. I'm in part of a team, so I work with an agency. They'll have a designer. It will be a much bigger scale of production, and those tend to be much bigger brands because of it. So I think that's kind of how I sit in. I think it would be more difficult for me to manage an e-commerce brand alone because I would need a designer. Like I'm not a designer, whereas those brands need that kind of thing. So that's kind of how I manage them all. But yeah, you're right. They're very different in the way that you would approach them.
Mhm. So let's say someone wants to hire you and wants to work with you. So can you please walk me through and the audience with your process, like how you work, what are the things you look for, and how did you get started onboarding and all?
Mhm. Yeah, I suppose it depends where they are. Like, if I'm thinking about the coaches and service providers, personal brands specifically, there are kind of two ways that I work with them. So, the first one is like newsletters. So, it's like a monthly ongoing basis. So, normally when I start with people, I will do like a briefing questionnaire to kind of get all the information. We have like a strategy deep dive call to kind of assess what is going to happen. And then it will be the case of doing the weekly newsletters. I might be helping them set up their email, picking a service provider, getting all the tech set up, all of that stuff I do as well. And then we work together on a monthly basis. So I'll do like a performance review at the end of the month. I come up with all the ideas, get them to input their ideas and extra things, write all the emails, schedule them, all of that stuff. Also come with them with like suggestions for things they can do, like if I think they could do with the sequence here, or like just different things they could try out and test. Like previously, when I've worked with people, we've done like re-engagement campaigns and things like that. So that's kind of part of the monthly kind of retainer that I work on. The other end is like launch packages. So let's say they're coming to me and they want to launch a new course or a program, which a lot of coaches and things do. That's when I'll kind of come on with a one-time project. So again, we'll still do like the briefing questionnaire, we'll still do a strategy session, but then I will kind of map out if it's a sequence or a launch plan or whatever's going to happen. Again, I'll still write all the emails, get their input, schedule everything, set up all of the automations and all of that stuff, and then that'll be that. They can go away and carry on with it. So those are kind of the two main ways I work with people.
Awesome. So as of now, you are working as a solopreneur. You are not having a team. But do you think of expansion in the future?
This is a tricky question because I know if I wanted to, I could, have my own agency. And I thought about it, but I'm just not sure if that is the right direction for me at the moment. Because I don't know, I like working on my own. I started the business just to work on my own. Like I never visioned of having a big agency. So right now, I don't think it's something that I'm leaning towards. I still work with other marketing agencies, so I still get the feel of being in a team. But yeah, I know that starting my own team and managing people would be a whole different ball game, which yeah, I don't know if I want that just yet.
Awesome. So as you know, 2025 is the year of newsletters. There are so many people who are considering newsletter as a business instead of as a nurturing uh, part. Because when it comes to e-commerce or info or SaaS, people from the founders desk, they send one newsletter a month or two newsletters a month, just to use it as a nurturing mechanism. But right now, people are individually creating newsletter as their own business. I also saw that you also have a newsletter. So what do you think of newsletters? Like how we can make a great newsletter, and what are the things we should consider while making a newsletter?
Yeah, I think newsletters are really great, like you say, for the nurturing part. Like I think, especially these days, people they want to see more authenticity. They want to relate on a more personal level, and I think a newsletter is a really great way to do that. So I'd say like the personal stories and like sharing vulnerabilities and relatability is a big part of that because that is what people get to know you and connect with you like person to person. So I think if you can share those type of stories, it kind of makes people relate more. And also I think like perception shifting, like if you can shift beliefs as part of those stories, that also sticks with people, and that's how you kind of stand out and people will notice you as an authority because yeah, you're changing the way they think about something, which yeah, is quite powerful, I'd say.
Mhm. So can you please name some of the newsletters you really like and you follow them?
I was gonna say the ones that I write, but I don't know if I want to like say all the names of people. But there are a lot. I know there are a lot on LinkedIn that are really popular. Um, I guess I'm trying to think of some of the names of them. Like like Justin Welsh, his is a really popular newsletter. Like Lara Acosta. I'm thinking of like the big LinkedIn names who have newsletters. Those ones are pretty good. But yeah, the ones that I write, but I'm not gonna say all of those now.
Yeah, it's not possible to name them. But yeah, I understood whom you are talking about. Yeah, that's really good. I saw your copy. It's so good. It's resonating. I mean, those people who read, they give good feedback on the same as well. I have noticed that. Really commendable job. So, what is one email trend you think is overrated?
This is a hard question because I don't know. I almost think it's hard to like spot email trends because like they happen so quietly in the inbox. Like you don't see it like you would on social media. And I don't know if this is a trend, but maybe I'll say it anyway. Especially like in the coaching service providers, like personal brand space, I see a lot of people like copying and pasting their like LinkedIn posts or their Instagram captions directly into an email. And I think this is just not good because if people are seeing it like on LinkedIn already, it gives people no reason to read the emails. Like I always say, there needs to be a reason for people to have to be on your email list and like to have subscribed. So if you're just copying and pasting, it kind of defeats the point. So I don't know if that's a trend, but I see a lot of people do it, and I think, yeah, maybe they shouldn't.
So, as you are in Bali, I mean, can we consider you as a digital nomad, or do you prefer Bali because there are so many like-minded folks are here, and you can walk alongside of them?
Yeah, it's funny actually because I am in Bali, but I'm based in Ubud, so like I'm not really around a lot of other people that work online. Like they're mostly in Canggu, so I don't really get that many people around here. But I do connect with some, which is great. But no, I'm mostly here, most just I guess the landscape and like the whole area. Like I travel around here and mostly Thailand as well, so I do really like the tropical environment, like the jungle, the beaches, that kind of stuff. um yeah, I think I just prefer it to like especially like the weather and things like that, so that's kind of why I'm here. But yeah, unfortunately I don't get to meet with as many people in some locations yet, but not so much in Bali like you would think.
Awesome. So, what is the one mindset that helps you succeed with email marketing?
I think a big thing is learning that your mistakes aren't failures and it's not the end of the world. Like if you make a mistake, you just have to learn from it. I think it's the same with life really and in business. Like you have to make mistakes to learn. Like as long as you learn from a mistake, that is the main thing. And like with anything, like anything in email marketing and marketing in general, is that you want to be experimenting with new things. You want to be trying different things. So you kind of have to make some mistakes in the progress of that, I think.
Mhm. So, for those people who want to be an email marketer, do you have any session for them?
What was that?
So, what is one suggestion you would give to those people who wants to be an email marketer or already an email marketer, but they need some motivation, short of motivation, or they need some push?
I think you kind of just learn as much as you can, like especially if you're in the early stages. Like I remember I would just YouTube like a lot of stuff because there's so much free advice on there. Like I guess I would be learning this stuff before AI was a thing. Like you can probably use AI to like learn stuff as well now. But yeah, like back when I was starting out, like I would just YouTube for a whole lot of stuff. There's just so much free advice on there. So I would say like learn as much as you can from other people who have already done it. And I think a lot of people who are earlier in their journey as well, like just try like writing emails, like just practice. I think you just have to practice and get out there and like try and get as many, I guess, try and get as many jobs as you can with different brands to like practice and learn as well. Like that is going to help you in the long run, I think.
Awesome. So, can you please share if someone subscribe to your email list, what they can get?
Yeah, so I have a email template for a sequence. So especially for like coaches and service providers and stuff, if they are launching like a lead magnet or if they want to do like a free masterclass or anything that they want to try and get people onto their list, I have a template of I think it's about 5 emails that you can send after they sign up. People have given me great feedback on this so far, so I know it's working and I know it's a really great resource. So yeah, we can share that and I will send you the link. We can pop that in the description or something.
Awesome. Thank you, Rachel, for coming today and sharing your wisdom. Like whatever you have shared, those people who want to be an email marketer or already an email marketer, they need some inspiration. They will get to learn a lot of from you. And thanks for coming today. And I have one last ask from you. Do you have anything to promote to this podcast and the people who are watching this podcast?
No, thank you so much for having me. Yeah, it was really great to chat. And I hope that a lot of new email marketers are listening. And yeah, there's so much advice out there. You can find me on Instagram, on LinkedIn. I share a lot of stuff on there. And of course, on my email list as well. And I guess if people are interested in working with me, I think I've spoken about it quite a lot already, but there are two main ways. It's like monthly newsletters or the launch support. So if you're a coach who's launching something or you want some support with your email marketing, yeah, I can help there.
Awesome. So if you are someone who wants to be in email marketing, can of course follow Rachel Caborn on LinkedIn. I will put the link in the description as well as on Instagram. If you're a service-based business owner or if you're a coach or consultant and want to work with Rachel, you can directly DM her on LinkedIn. And thanks, Rachel, for coming today. It was great talking with you, and have a nice journey ahead.
Thank you.